Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead cultist. Agitators are...
How'd you like to find your insides?
I find that an improbable outcome were we to engage in... Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not...
Impressed as I am that worked.
Are you going to be a problem? Because I have a solution that requires...
Agent, I have a message for you.
Feels real nice in here. Wouldn't mind us dragging our feet so we can
What is
enjoy
with
the
the anomalous
warmth a little
behavior?
longer.
Oh,
A cultist and her extremely sharp...
no, that won't be necessary. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and the presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the artifice. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely... Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. Belvedere Hall used to serve primarily as the garden's hub for all manner of research since the Order's forced dispossession of Spire, which is to say, please excuse our mess, we're still remodeling. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or may all your...
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. People will start to worry.
Caffeine is proven to lead to many positive health and research outcomes.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please.
There's little you could tell me I couldn't also tell you.
Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence? Interested? Between you and me, I've always felt the same. Forget the convictions. I haven't spied you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. I see. And what lucky department have you been apportioned to? Surely it must be one of the big three. Of course. The vicars are an integral part of the Order. Without, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. If you're amenable to continuing our chat somewhere more right this way.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue. I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. Recall what you have observed thus far. Isn't it strange how calm everyone is? The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding, put bluntly. They're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? Moderate your volume, please! The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun. Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. So you've heard of us. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. Nothing nefarious, if that's the needle in your... I know that must read as terribly vague to you, but I'm not at liberty to provide more All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call... Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, lately he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly... Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? What? No, absolutely not. To both suggestions. I'm asking you to be strategic, not homicidal. One more thing. Outside of work, I have... And I'd like...
What a lamentable state of affairs. I remember the day. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park.
Information are we reduced to chance? At present, we do not have complete information.
You're not going to be a problematic variable, are you?
A second makeup exam will not be off, so I hope you studied this time, Bride.
Shh! If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, and is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. You're mistaken. Panic isn't on the guard. Can't believe my future in the Order will be decided by an Are you wait? I'm sure I...
You okay? Seem off by a few decimal points.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
Try not to deviate from the norm. That's one way to become the center of attention.
For pity's sake, is it the pump or the sealant? Industrial sciences. Now the fountain's broken and I can't. Am I fretting? No. Well, there was Roberto. I should have. We had an avalanche I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. No, of course.
This energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No
Agent, over here.
Preserve the rifts for laboratory study. Logical course of action.
Stop deviating from the baseline.
Ah, there you are. Just think of, remember, seek out ways to help both sides. In the meantime, I might
Well, aren't you the eccentric sort?
The Chamber
I
of
have
Conflict
too much on my mind
Evaluation.
for
Your
idle
admittance to the
numerical
Chamber of
changes.
Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning may come at a later date, as determined by the Office of the Oracle Laureate. What is with the anomalous behavior?
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission. Please direct any inquiries to the presiding bishop is not accepting visitors at this time.
You lose something down there?
Well, I'll be hanged at the pitter of footsteps. Philo Tresmer. In a different life, we might have been enemies. But as far as I'm concerned, that strain of thinking is what brought us into this mess in the first place. All science reeks is destruction. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. Niceties are irrelevant. And I am not just anyone. The duty of though I suppose it a mite strain, as of yet, that does not include the other Protectorate personnel I've encountered. The Consul is intended to supplement the Sovereign's rule, acting as a spy master. The Consul is doing his duty. I've heard rumors of late that a fool... Hate is an inaccurate... I am... Unfortunately...
What is with the anomalous behavior?
Hey! Only security personnel are permitted in this booth. Leave. Please. Lift access is currently restricted. Keep moving. At this time, residents of Laplace's garden are not permitted beyond this point.
did your hypothesis about the flower?
No lectures, please.
Huh. This is prime real estate, and it's sitting abandoned. Reckon it even occurred to the Order that they could board the folk at Matriarch's Mercy here?
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Well, aren't you the eccentric sort?
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the Scientician in question. Any inquiries about either you intend to buy or you intend to go without? It's there in the name. Please peruse.
The Scientician Surplus. Smart researchers patronize the Scientician Surplus. Quality goods at algorithmically determined prices.
Is that what it means by plan favor your endeavors? Stashed a few, learning tools on
one hand, kind of you to assist.
Appreciate the help. Now shoo, before we get caught.
And here you are, perhaps. I am, of course, speaking of the aforementioned light war. Not with the corporatists, surely. My dear, nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand belief in the plan. Not to worry. You are still young in the grand scheme of things. Plenty of time to write.
You're back. Any luck with the sample? No need to wait for permission. Ask them. I was assigned to the Order as a girl. Then the schism happened and everything went topsy-turvy. If I had to theorize, Sub Rosa must have seen... My left pinky feels a little... All jesting aside, no. You know, I'm actually nearing the end of my shift. Right this way. You're back. Any luck with the sample?
Every day treating the same strains and abrasions. Tenure for a multifactorial disorder. The operating theater is not conducting... That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself, or there is curiosity, and there... But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. I don't care. Is there anything else I can assist you with? That is... Good timing. I just...
Well, aren't you the eccentric sort?
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy in the universe.
You. I don't know who you are. But if you... I have not the slightest theory as to how you bypassed our guards. But if it was through violence, be assured, it will be returned.
Exactly. Though, to be honest, I was thinking of filleting you, but it didn't seem worth...
I shall be the judge. There is a cultist-centric issue the Order needs resolved. I suspect you are...
If these cultists are suffering the same affliction of being traitorous curs as the others seem to be, then I look forward to killing...
My task is this. A myriad of cultists have taken... Once there was a bridge...
Well, then it seems today is your lucky day. The Dawn and Newton have been dealt with. By us. Care to hear all the blood? Of course.
You saw a problem and followed your own methods to solve it. I can admire that. If you removed Newton's unsightly blemish, I believe you may be trustworthy. You've given me reasonable doubt that you will kill the presiding bishop on sight. But this task, one of the satellites comprising the Hyperion web, was struck by a wayward craft and crashed on Paradise Island. I need someone to recover an informational component from it. The web is an order-crafted network of information collection satellites. Our would-be protectorate overlords squandered them as glorified. We actually implanted a back door in the web to bring it back under our control, should a circumstance like this arise. But let's not speak of that. Find a way past the protectorate at the crash site, collect the data, and return it here. Violence is likely, but perhaps you'll worry about coming. Collect the data from the crash.
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. As a natural byproduct of human physiology, no, of course not. As a vet, I can tell by your general pallor that you, too, may be playing host to some terrible microorganism. Condolences. But now where? Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis and... Forgive me if I don't shake hands, I prefer. But now, if I'm not mistaken, I don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels, our order residencies, where one can meditate in solitude on prior to the war. Such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. How unexpected. Please return when you've found all four. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. How do you know? I mean, that is quite the allegation. I deny it effusively. I've already lost enough enamel. First, answer me this. What is your interest in this matter? As much as I relish the idea of entrusting a stranger with sensitive and perhaps if you were to help me out with recovering those logs I asked for. If there's nothing else, I would like to return to my... Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly... On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less... Now, wait a moment. I think you forget we are not the Protectorate, at any rate. But let's move on to other topics, please. Oh, and what a history it is. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian. Cloister has two things in abundance: ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the... Who's to say it didn't? Do you think it mere coincidence the Order was ready to quit the Protectorate en masse the moment the invaders arrived? See, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. My word, you should have seen the... But other stray inquiries occupy your mind. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is... If you're determined,
And so, my sincerest thanks.
You're back. Any luck with the sample? I'm charmed my name. I have some protectorate contacts, and I might be willing to lean my...
Society demands perfect thoughts. Imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry. It is the duty of every protector and subject to ensure operating at peak efficiency at all times.
We've got company, Commander. The unfriendly kind.
All it took was some light instruction and a restorative cocktail to abrade my imperfections.
Yeesh. I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Did these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all math charts and chalkboards, and how many abaci does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
They never questioned, never doubted. Their zeal never lagged. Employing a thorough, methodical search pattern. Better take a gander.
Suppressors in range.
There?
Aggressor at hand.
Let's get you healed. Out of sight and on the way.
Taking cover!
Rats tingling. All charged up.
Recommencing hostilities!
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Minimizing exposure!
We are doing fast to stop them.
Clear. Let's stake our claim.
Protectorate got this locked up tight, but we can unseal it somewhere by the archives entrance, if I recall. If you mean to ally with the Order, reckon I can't blame. More importantly, it's becoming clear to me that folk don't actually want us. There is another option. The Order. They're trying to do right by the refugees, after all, and seem reasonable when they ain't being strong-armed by extremists. You could consider them. The battles will continue, whether or not you're... Listen, normally I'd take issue with one person playing Kingmaker. That is to say, you, and there'll be enough time for that later. For now, we should move on, unless you got something for...
Dagmar. The cur. How could she... And out of all the cultists, she elevated me to the highest rank in the Dawn. She was my supervisor. I was just a lowly scientist. And when she saw my pain, she looked into my background. It was then that she recruited me. My psychological profile. I saw it once. Recommended sending me to but my parents, the paranoia the Protectorate creates, and they were terrified that my behavior would lead people to start looking at them as scam. You remember I told you they were They could have helped me in numerous ways lesser subjects' parents couldn't. My existence was always bleak. She gave me a life, a family. Thank you. But Dagmar has shown me... It's hard to explain, but outside of the lab, thinking only ever confused me, got me into... I depend on the Dawn's belief, and I won't.
I would query if your day has been positive. But, of course. Wonder. Now, is there any... Of course.
You carry on.
Aggressor at hand.
Someone go for it.
Commander, you're bleeding.
Craft ain't ready. Craft's raring to go. Hey, we gotta talk. I understand that things might come up, give you no choice. But for all they've done, these folk are still mine. If we can avoid bloodshed, better think hard about what you're saying. Just don't put me in. I ain't the enemy! Go ahead. Tell me what else. What? Why? I told you I'd watch your back long as you needed me. And unless I miss, well, my
Marisol Delgado has been added to the ship roster. This unit has also been informed readying day.
Let's see how well you arbiters know basic history. Who constructed the archive?
The matriarch did, of course. Who else could oversee the creation of such an immense, complex piece of machinery?
Inaccurate. It was Presiding Bishop Audley, the first presiding bishop. The matriarch gave permission, but he's the one who oversaw its actual construction.
I knew that. This is the problem with you mathematical sycophants. There's always some technicality that conveniently proves you right.
Oh, thank you for agreeing I was proven right, Rao. How magnanimous of you. I want to defeat the Protectorate as much as the... You're quite curious. I'm unsure if you're a mercurial contrarian, corporate stooge, or possess some hidden strategy. Ah, so it's the former then. You're a mercurial contrarian with whatever's on your mind. More than anyone alive, I suppose. Not that I agree with all of her stated conclusions. In our time at the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection, I gained many colleagues. But the work had... She needn't have worried, though. I have recently come in a typically roundabout fashion, more or less. Not sure how she concluded that so quick. I mean, of course I know who I am. Or that is, I know who I was. May all our...
I've only visited Oculus Collating Post a handful of times, and that was certainly. Virgil and I are just as close as any blood-related set of individuals. We make extremely effective compatriots. Where I am swift to action, Virgil often contemplates his It's a shame there may only be one supreme arbiter.
Hey, Commander. I wanted to apologize for the way I handled things after Greater... I've also given some thought to what you said about not killing DeVries in cold blood. And... you're right. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Only felt right to clear the air. I've learned... Oh yeah? What's needling you? Shit. Knew I was forgetting something. I had some trouble adjusting in the years after Horizon Point. I was in pain more times than I wasn't. I will. Just so long as you promise not to take notes or nothing. For those first few years, every time I laid down and closed my eyes, I went back there, to Horizon Point. I'd swear I could feel the explosion again, the heat coming at me. I'd wake suddenly in the middle of the night, startling at nothing, sweating like I'd run a race. Sometimes Zeb set up with me. He told me I'd get better with time, and I did. The sedatives he was occasionally able to get his hands on didn't hurt neither. Anyway, that was the past. I'm good now. I found other ways to cope. I'm not sure anyone would consider that when I'm not out there heroically saving the colony. I like to tinker around the ship or work on Val. I exercise. Been considering taking up cross-stitch. What do you think? Just remember you said that the next time I'm puttering around at odd. Was there anything else you needed, Commander?
So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent, but why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy, Commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Oh, I don't know. Maybe getting my head caved in while I sleep? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to... Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Still too many corporate bootlickers drawing air around.
Who exactly? Niles? He's fun to torment. I mean, he's equal parts enthusiastic. I find her amusing. In a
Best not to torment her or Of course I do. What's not to like? To envy. Her style, her lethality. Oh, she's a professional for architects. I wish I'd known about her department when I was growing up. Tristan's a standard issue arbiter, albeit with an extra slathering of arrogance. But as long as that ridiculously large hammer of his isn't pointed in my... Though he'd be loath to admit it, not only does she possess more heart than your standard corporatist flunky, she's a great deal...
Such as?
What do you need, Commander?
Such as?